We're live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's talk about it with the Empowerment Duo. Hey, Miss Phyllis. How are you? Hey, honey.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Whew.
Today is Wednesday.
I talk to myself because I need someone to talk to. What do you say when you talk to yourself?
When you talk to people, talk to themselves
All the time.
Yes.
You know, I've heard it said it's okay to talk to yourself. It's even okay to answer to yourself. But if you ever catch yourself saying "huh" to yourself, then it's a problem.
I don't know if that's true because there have been times that I've done both. Talk to myself and answer myself and question myself as to what I was talking about. But we'll get into it. We'll be right back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Hey, Dr. Deborah. Hey, Miss Phyllis. Hey, Julie Ray. How y'all doing? We are back. Today is day 19 for those who've been hanging with us for the jumpstart of 2022. And I am excited because today's message is awesome. Now, today, we do have a topic for the show, and it is...
Good morning, Mr. John. Is that John? Yeah,
John.
Good morning, Mr. John. How are you, sir?
Hey, John, over in the LinkedIn world. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Today's topic is, what do you say?
What do you say
when you talk to yourself?
When you talk to yourself.
Now, that has to take into account a couple of assumptions.
Okay.
That you talk to yourself.
Okay. Well, there's a concept. There's a belief that whether you like it or not, you're always talking to yourself.
And I believe that to be true.
Do you think that's true?
I know it's true.
It's a concept that you're always talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You're either speaking life into yourself, you're speaking death into yourself, you're speaking positivity into yourself, or negativity in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the beautiful thing is, we've discovered that we can greatly impact what we say when we talk to ourselves.
Absolutely.
We can feed ourselves what we want ourselves to say to ourselves when we talk to ourselves.
Now, I actually am very conscientious about this concept. One thing a lot of people know is that I do manage the things that come into my ear. Now, I understand why that's important, because talking to myself actually happens on the other side of my ear, right? It doesn't happen on the outside. But what you listen to, what you take in, what you hear, what you consume actually can supplant itself in your own voice and begin to take on a different type of authority.
No doubt. No diggity.
No doubt. Hey, Jacqueline, good morning. Good morning.
Arizona morning, beautiful duo. Yes, we are the duo. Her name is Lisa Santiago McNeill. The whole thing. Lisa Santiago McNeill. Just like a pimp named Slipback. You say the whole thing every time. You say the whole thing every time. Yes, that includes the Lisa Santiago part. Yes.
That's right. A pimp named Slickback. I have to use that. I like that, actually. And I'm not a Boondocks aficionado, but I remember that episode, and I really do like Cat Williams saying a pimp named Slickback, and you have to say the whole thing.
Every time.
Every time.
Yes, that includes the a pimp name part. Yes. And I am Brian K. McNeill. And together we make up what's called the Empowerment Duo.
The Empowerment Duo.
The show that you're a part of right now is called Let's Talk About It. And we've been doing this since October of 2016. That's right. October of 2016.
We are now in our 6th season. Can you believe it? The 6th season of coming here, talking business, personal conversation,
business information, and spiritual inspiration
with a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
John, I see you reaching out to me on LinkedIn right now. That's the way to do it, my brother. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna check you out though, because we check them out.
So what do you say now? You know what? There are times then what you say when you're saying it to yourself actually is not working for you.
Yes, because your brain is such a fertile ground. It doesn't care if the input is positive or negative. It'll receive it all just as well. Just like a good soil will be fruitful for weeds as well as it will for anything else.
And interestingly enough, sometimes it seems like negative stays easier than positive, just like weeds grow easier than beautiful roses.
Well, the negative is a human being's natural default settings. We naturally default to negativity without controlling where our thoughts go. So if we don't take
that could be true.
Yeah, it
but
is.
I choose not to believe it.
But if we don't control what we're thinking about, the negative is going to be the first impulse.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why being sure that you are filling yourself with the right content at all times is important. That's why I watch things that are positive. I read things that are informative or supportive of the objective that I'm going to. And I do not watch news. I do not read news at all. And I limit my conversation about
But you
things.
won't know what's going on, Lisa.
It'll go on. It'll still go on. Anything that I'm supposed to directly have an influence over or hand in, I will figure out what it is, but I control that too, which is why my company is called Empowerment Publishing and Multimedia. And it is why I decided that I would only publish stories of overcoming in the form of self-help, personal development, and children's books. There are lots of people who have stories that are written, that are gothic stories, that are scary stories, science fiction stories, that are otherwise dark stories. Even they could be
stories,
true. Well, romance stories,
erotic stories,
whatever. But those stories are not what I want in my system on the day-to-day. And so I conscientiously chose that they will not be the ones that I manage. Now, when I'm working with a client, if that's what they want to do, they know that there's going to be a limit of my involvement in certain areas of what they're doing.
Or you refer them out.
Most of the time, I do refer them out.
Mm-hmm. You see me eat this granola bar?
Yeah, but look, how long you going to eat it?
Until I can swallow.
We'll swallow it.
You know something on your lip. Upside. Right there. Look at that.
Okay.
Y'all saw that on her lip, didn't even say nothing?
Whatever. I think
on Monday we had a beautiful conversation about speaking into our life, and we had this great idea amongst the team, amongst the brethren, that we would record positive messages to ourselves to listen to, a couple of times a day. And well, according to Think and Grow Rich, you should listen to it 3 times a day. When you wake up, when you go to bed, and sometime after your midday meal. Okay, you should do it. And you should do it with feeling too. If you haven't yet recorded your recordings about yourself, your positive affirmations, go ahead and do it, but make sure you put some feeling in it, some emotion in it, because your brain responds best to emotion. Put that strain in your voice a little bit. Put that passion in it a little bit.
It's like the fertilizer for you. And actually, I have several recordings. I have several recordings for different things. I have them right in my phone. I have recordings for declarations. Shout it out to my brother Patrick. Patrick Moore, it's his birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother Patrick.
He is exactly 40 days older than me. And I am excited once again that we have made it to another year.
He's 40 days older than you. And he's your brother. That is the world record gestation period. Can you believe that?
He's my foster brother.
I know what it means.
But there was no distinction in that for me. But we have never met. I think in 54 years old. We've known each other since the 3rd grade. And I think that since we've known each other, we've not missed a birthday.
Well, good.
In all life's traversing and everything.
That's challenging
else
to do. So today, what I thought would be a great idea is with the help of the brethren, help of the team. Because there are some things that I believe we should be saying to ourselves every day. And then there's some things that you might have come up with that might be unique or someone else had not thought of that they should say. So if you're willing to share today, let's see if we can compile a good list of or a good suggestion model of what we should be saying to ourselves when we talk to ourselves.
Absolutely. Jacqueline said, I literally wake up talking to myself. This morning, I said to myself, okay, girlfriend, ending and eliminating from your to-do list as we go into 2022. I usually clean the last week of the year to create room for growth and new. For example, I remove groups and organizations I may be financially supporting and look for new ones. I like that. That's a very conscientious.
I should do that too. Unwittingly, you end up in a bunch of groups on Facebook and LinkedIn that you don't support and don't do. I need to eliminate a bunch of those things too.
Absolutely. Well, I actually have a list of different voice recordings that some of them are for declarations and decrees, meaning that they are meant to, this is what God said, this is what it is. This is what God said, this is what it is. Those are decrees and declarations. Otherwise, a lot of them are affirmations. Some of them are intended to be affirmations that are consistently given. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And others are one-offs, like from time to time. And then and those are recorded in my own voice, but then I also listen to some powerful affirmations that I lead into my sleep.
Okay.
And I have done both. I have done my own voice and lead that into sleep. And I have also not the affirmation, but what is it called when you the relaxation exercise to go to sleep? Like I'm relaxing my shoulders and I'm arms, breathing in positive energy. I'm exhaling negative energy. And those really, really work for me.
Dr. Beverly says, good morning, Magic Wednesday praise report. A real angel called me yesterday and I didn't get the call. I returned the call to the angel and I believe that this angel is my twin. This angel also told me that she asked God to connect us. And you know how it went from there. Brian, this truly is a magic week for me to thank you for planting that seed in my spirit. Good morning, great people. Yes, we did. We planted the seed last week, and Dr. Beverly has allowed that seed to take root within her spirit and is now growing. We call this week the Magic Week. Let's make this week magical. Magical Monday, magical Tuesday, magical Wednesday, magical Thursday, magical Friday. Because this one day can make your week. One day in this week can make your whole week. And this week can make your whole month. And this month can make your year. Yes, it can.
Yeah, absolutely. There has been a transition in the jump start exercises that a lot of them seemed a bit more preparational in nature. But today was actually almost seemed like the beginning of harvesting. Was
a good time to harvest.
Yeah, it was about binding and loosing. Was the scripture that came to us was about binding and loosing. So it was really about harvesting. Dr. Beverly says, them are for, and speaking of voice recordings, I did do my voice recording yesterday and they meant so much more than yesterday. I actually had a 3-minute talk to myself. There's meaning behind it, and there's emotion behind it, and there's belief behind it. What I said on my recording yesterday for 2022.
I'm ready. I believe you.
Good morning, Glenda.
I believe you. Miss Glenda Tate is back, baby. We missed you. Come on.
We did. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. For those of you who did see on Facebook, and I have started getting registrations, please register for the first Women Empowerment of the Year. It is going to be powerful. It's on January the 4th at 7 p.m., but the registrations are already out there. You can go to the link inside the description box, and you can also go to womenempowermentnetwork.com to register.
So come on, y'all, help us out here. Let's come up with it. Now, what kinds of things should we be saying to ourselves, in your opinion?
What's your opinion?
What kind of things we should be saying to ourselves, in my opinion? That's a great question. I wasn't ready, but I'm gonna say this.
But you're making them ready, and you're trying to make me ready.
Yes,
but you're not ready.
yes. But I got an answer. I have an answer.
Good.
It takes a moment to get ready.
Good.
I've only got a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Come on, baby, I'm ready. My first thing I was gonna say, Lisa, is something I say to myself that all the time is a reminder thing. Brian, you're a good guy. You're good, and you do work hard, and you deserve the success you're getting. You're prepared, you're honest, you're helpful. The people that you work with do benefit from you greatly, and the world needs me. If I didn't do what I do, it would not get done, and I need to do what I do so that it does get done. I say those kinds of things to myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have what it takes. I'm good at it. As a matter of fact, I'm great at it, and I do it with a smile, and the world is blessed because of my smile. I say those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Dr. Stephanie introduces You Can Do It. 4-word philosophy. What a beautiful philosophy. You can do it. There's another 4-word philosophy that gets people over tribulation. And it always has worked. It's in the word. The 4-word philosophy that gets you past the tribulation is this too shall pass.
I was going to say it came to pass.
Okay.
But yeah, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Yeah.
That's something that we get to remember. We get to remember that often. We get to remember that because it doesn't matter what it is, how difficult it is, it came to pass.
It don't stay.
Dr. Beverly said the first thing I said to myself is, Beverly, if you don't believe in you, how do you expect somebody else going to believe in you? You believe in everybody else. Now it's time to believe in you. The next thing I said was, I need you to understand how anointed you are and how powerful you are and the things that you can do to help other people. Yeah. You've been helping other people for a long time, but the help
that you've been helping people has been helping you. Take some time for you. Breathe, girl. I'm not done with you yet.
And then the third thing I said to myself was, who can beat you? I said in a baby voice, nobody. Then I said, who can beat you? Then I said it again, no one. Then I said to myself again, who can beat you? And sometimes you have to get yourself in a position to believe yourself. The same way that you would rally a crowd. You can do it. Who can do it? You can do it. Who can do it? You can do it. Who can do it? I can do it. Who can do it? She can do it. It can be done. It's already been done.
Dr. Beverly's rap there reminded me of a classic lyric from the song Brick House by the Commodores.
Okay.
And they say, how can you lose with the things you use? How can she lose with the things she use? And then he gives up some dimensions.
Yes. Dr. Deborah said, in today's Jumpstart, you approach that binding and loosing scripture from a different perspective. I released some angels to work on my behalf. I loosed great things for myself and my business so that I can be a blessing to those I love and beyond. Exactly.
Amen.
That was what it came to me. And said that we get to loose. He said, whatsoever is bound in earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever is loosed in earth can be loosed in heaven. And I'm telling you that you have the authority. You are kingdom kids. You have the authority. Glenda says
I want to get this, please. Glenda's sentence here. Now, Lisa and I have both taken several classes in continuous positive directions language by Mr. J. Burt Freeman. He's been on our show twice, and I think we need to have him come in here again. But J. Burt Freeman would use this sentence that Ms. Glenda Tate said as a classic case. Ms. Glenda says, my biggest obstacle is getting organized and setting achievable goals. Now, according to J. Burt Freeman, she says, you see it clearly, my biggest obstacle, which obstacle is a negative word, is getting organized, organized and setting achievable goals. She sees that as her biggest obstacle. Mr. J. Burt Freeman has taught Lisa and I how to take a sentence like that and reword it so that it's speaking positivity and speaking towards what you want versus away from what you want. That's one of those sentences that's speaking you away from what you want instead of towards.
By consistently pointing out what your challenge is as opposed to what your objective is.
Or your opportunity is. And one of the ways you can fix that sentence, just a suggestion, I'm not telling you what to do. First off, my biggest obstacle is getting organized. You can stop that right now. You can say, I'm getting more organized every day, or I'm learning to be more organized, or organization is no longer a challenge for me.
I wouldn't say no longer.
Okay, well, that used to be a challenge. That's even wrong too, but I am getting more organized every day. The fact that you're aware of it makes that statement true.
Absolutely. And Jacqueline says, I love that I have a personal mission and vision statement for my life to support my mission and vision. For the past 25 years, I've chosen a word, proverb, quote, scripture, or thought that I focus on throughout a whole year. For example, getting it done in 2021. And I got a mountain of things done, including connecting to the Empowerment Duo. Well, thank you. We're glad that we were a part of your 2021, and we look forward to being a major part of your 2022.
Yes. I can't wait. Dr. Beverly Thomas is in the house. Okay, cool. Glenda said yes to that. So what else suggestions? Anyone else have any suggestions that we should be saying? Lisa put me on the spot, and I ended up rattling some stuff off. And after I finished, stopped talking, I felt like I had more stuff I wanted to say.
More other stuff. That's it, Glenda. She says, I am getting more organized every day.
Yes.
Thanks for the positivity. You're very welcome, and you're worth it.
We, I have rules when I work with clients, and Lisa has adopted the rules and Lisa-ized them to the way she wants them to be. But they're basically the same two rules. Okay. We word them a little bit differently, but they're the same two rules. Rule number one is no insulting because no insulting the client, whatever the name is.
My clients. Yeah. None of my clients.
And we're talking about the person themselves. You can't insult yourself, at least not while you're talking with us, because unwittingly as adults, we say a lot of small insults to ourselves. I'm never organized. I'm always late. I'm so clumsy. I can't do math. I can't do this. And little insults. And your subconscious mind don't care if it's little or big, and they don't care who's saying it. They accept them as truisms. So you can't insult yourself. We say, if we catch you insulting yourself, we get to call you on it. And the worst thing you can say about yourself in any area, is,
I'm getting better.
I'm getting better at it. So even if you're horrible at math, you can't say I'm horrible at math. You can say I'm getting better at math. So the first rule is no insulting yourself, at least not out loud that we can hear you. And then the second rule is no silent dissent. That means if we say anything or any part of anything we say that you disagree with, you can't keep the disagreement to yourself.
Absolutely.
Because it might help everyone involved. It might stretch us or help us see it in a different way. So if I say something you disagree with or you don't buy into, you have to say it. You can't keep that to yourself. That's the rules of working with us-ins.
Can you try to not bounce the table or bounce it because it is affecting the video recording, and it's also affecting my eyes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I love that. I told myself the very same thing, but obstacles doesn't have a place when I challenge myself to overcome, to break through, to win. Nothing is an obstacle to me anymore. And I'll look at things in that manner as hurdles. I have to jump higher than the next one.
That's a great analogy. I'm Dr. Bever. Hurdles is a great analogy. They have low hurdles and they have what's called high hurdles. Now, the athletes that run high hurdles, any one of the athletes can jump over the hurdle. Okay, but they do have a winner at the end of the race. Why? Because some people do those hurdles faster than others. Now, if you want to win the race in hurdles, you're going to learn you're going to have to practice hurdles, right? And then they have systems that they use to run the hurdles. They lead leg. They have the first leg. They call it the lead leg. They throw their lead leg over, and then they have their trail leg over. And then once they're over, 1, 2, 3, lead leg over. And then, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 7 steps, depending upon if it's a man or a woman. Let's say it's 5 steps. They lead leg over, trail leg over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lead leg up. Then they have this system that they use, and they practice that over and over again until they can run that race very, very fast. One of the telltale signs of people that run hurdles in life, their shins are scarred the heck up. Okay. They all have very scarred shins. Okay. And I like that analogy because the people that will cover hurdles, they understand that you're going to hit some hurdles. You're going to hit some. and some of them are going to hurt, and they leave scars there. Okay, but the hurdles are still worth running. So you may have some scars because you hit some hurdles, but they're still worth running.
I like it.
I like it too. I like it too.
And thank you for tuning in this morning. This is Let's Talk About It. We are here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Lisa Santiago McNeill, and he is
Brian K. McNeill. Now, on this show, we do have an express purpose. We come here to talk about personal conversations,
business information,
and spiritual inspiration.
Put a little bit of shenanigans on.
That's what we're here to talk about. We do have a ministry. Our expressed, that means we make it plain to the world, ministry is
economic independence
through
entrepreneurship.
That's it. Everything we do has something to do with that. Economic independence through entrepreneurship.
Which simply means your gifts will make room for you.
This is a perfect time for me to mention a commercial. Tonight, I asked her if she would do this with me this morning. But tonight at 7 p.m. on a lot of my social media pages at the same time, I'm doing it through StreamYard. I'm going to talk about the dark secrets of entrepreneurship. The dark secrets. The things that most entrepreneurs don't want to talk about, but they cannot hide from. And I asked Lisa this morning if she would join me in the conversation, because as I was going through my notes the other day with Lisa, things I wanted to talk about, she had wonderful stuff to say as well. And since then, my thinking has even expanded more. So I think it'll be more fun to do it with Lisa. So tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to talk about the dark secrets of entrepreneurship, the things that most entrepreneurs don't want to talk about, but cannot hide from. And I just think it's going to be a dynamic discussion.
Mm-hmm. The things that we say when we talk to ourselves, we get to decide what they are as long as we are paying attention. Understand some of that chatter goes on without awareness. When we allow these things to just go on in the back of our minds or whatever, I actually think that the best way to manage the stuff that goes on in the back of your mind is to actually assign a task to the back of your mind, so that whenever you need to whenever you're not consciously thinking about thinking, that you're going to be thinking about what you told yourself to think.
That's probably some brilliance, okay? Because your brain is going to keep working. And if you don't assign it a task, it'll just go anywhere.
Which again was what the Jumpstart did for me, because there were a lot of thoughts that were crowding my mind. And whenever my mind went blank, so to speak, it was not totally blank, but it was not focused on something, then it would go to this thing that I did not want to focus on.
Imagination comes in play there. You're highlighting another part of my training. I'm a sales confidence coach. And one of the first exercises I typically do with my clients is an exercise where I have them take a clean sheet of paper and number from 1 to 10, skipping a line between each number. And then I tell them, I set my timer for 3 minutes on the clock. I put 3 minutes on my cell phone timer, and then I explain to them what I want them to do and how to do it and all that kind of stuff. And then I say go. But also as they're going, I'm talking to them the whole time. Now they know they have 3 minutes to write down the things that Brian told them to write down, but I'm distracting them the whole time. I'm asking them questions. They have to answer my questions and finish this in 3 minutes. I'm counting the clock down. You got 2 minutes left. You got a minute and a half left. You got a minute left. And I'm crowding them. I'm crowding their brain, okay? And I'm bothering them, and I'm challenging them. I'm telling them, if you can't do this within 3 minutes, it means this, this, and this. And the reason why I do that, there's a very scientific reason why. The scientific reason why I'm doing that with them is because if they are left with their own brain, their brain is going to start going to the creation of a story side. What is he trying to get me to say? What's the textbook answer? I don't like that last answer I gave. Let me change it. So I fill up their brain space so they only have enough time to record the stuff that's right up front, already in their mouth, the stuff that they would actually say. Doing it this way, I get the most honest feedback and I get the most direct feedback.
I think it's helpful. Dr. Beverly, thank you. She said scars heal There may even be a tender spot, but the knowledge is I've learned how to maneuver in the process. And while I'm getting the process in order, that can help me over the hurdles. I can also keep in mind that there's order in winning.
Yes, and I like that. The scars heal, but every scar is a lesson. Even there might even be a sore spot there, but there's still lessons for you there. And I agree with you. This hurdle mentality, this hurdling through life mentality, I like it. It's taking shape in my head.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a really important thing, and I particularly, I appreciate scars. I appreciate scars. I have for a long time. I think that scars are indicative. They're like medals or
Yes, that's a good way of looking at
badges.
it. Medals.
Yeah, that they're indicative that you've gone through something. Jacqueline says, "Yes, Brian. I used to say for years, I do not like the spotlight. It would always sit in the back of. I would always sit in the back of the room or volunteer to help, doing things that kept me behind the scenes. Funny thing is, God always made sure that I was called out. I'm finally allowing myself to enjoy the spotlight when it comes. Thanks again, Empowerment Duo. Because of you and a few others, I'm free to shine
Without
without
stage
stage
fright.
fright. Hey,
The spotlight
Talisha.
is my friend. There's a reason why the spotlight is shining on me, and I'm going to honor that reason. The spotlight is my friend. Okay. The reason I'm in this room is because I have something that will bless this room. And I know that you do, sister. Good morning, Miss Felicia. How you doing? Miss Felicia, what kinds of things should people say to themselves when they talk to themselves? What do you think? Okay, you put me on the spot and I rattled. So what you got, Lisa?
What type of things should people say to
What kind?
themselves?
Yeah. I'll go
Well,
with
it
that.
depends on what their objective is, but it should be positive. I think that it's important to also share things that are building you up and working in your favor, which is why I believe in decrees and
Can you give an
declarations.
example?
A decree, and yes, one of the things that I often say to myself is, I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the first and not the last. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment, God condemns. There is no weapon, no weapon, no weapon that is formed against me that shall prosper. By reminding myself that I am not the last word in that situation, that I am not the final say, that God has the final say, but his final say is on my behalf, works in my favor.
Dr. Deborah says, yes, scars help you to realize that you can make it through. Absolutely. Lisa has a great talk about this. Steve Harvey has a talk about this, about the worst day of your life. You know, those worst moments of your life. If you can remember those worst days and worst moments of your life, that means you've made it through that. You made it past that. That means you've survived that moment. If you're alive to remember that. Steve Harvey says, you know that you have made it through 100% of all those horrible things that's ever happened to you. You've made it through 100% of them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lisa has a beautiful way of putting it as well. But the point is still the same. You know, you made it through. You got your scar from it, but you've survived and thrived and learned from it.
And it doesn't matter how difficult it was, if you can look back on it, that means that it's in your rear view.
Do that, Sister Jacqueline. She goes, I like that. Spotlight is my friend. Putting it on my wall in a frame.
Dr. Beverly says that is the very first scripture that I talked to my children. And when my son got shot and I finally got to him at the hospital, he was sitting right there and he looked at me and he said, Mom, don't look at me like that. I know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Then he said, the devil can't touch me. He is going to have to talk to God first. Do you know I could have choked him?
But there's something to be said about not being able to touch you. There are places that no one can get to on you. Okay, that's your subconscious mind. In the classic book, let's read that first. Positive thoughts of encouragement, affirmations, and things you declare for your life. Amen. Because I asked her the question directly: what should be, and some of the things you say to yourself. But there's a book called Man's Search for Meaning. Classic. It's one of those books that everyone has to read, along with Think and Grow Rich, and How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the Holy Bible. But those books, Man's Search for Meaning, is in that ilk. Okay, it's written by Dr. Viktor Frankl. Dr. Frankl is a Jewish doctor, and he's survived the concentration camps at Dachau and Auschwitz during World War II. And people got killed all the time. People died all the time all around him. And he noticed that people that died off fastest, they didn't have anything to look forward to. The people that had something to look forward to, like a loved one or something they wanted to get back to, they were more sturdy, more stout when they was lived through. But he came to this thought, what he called the last ultimate freedom. The last ultimate freedom. The ultimate freedom was because the guards could take his body, they could take his food, they can torture him, they can humiliate him all they want, but they couldn't touch his mind. They couldn't touch his mind. He can control his freedom of his own mind. He felt that while the guards are there guarding them and torturing them, they're in prison too. Okay, they have to be there in prison with me. I'm in prison, but so are these guards. And they can hurt me physically, but they cannot touch my mind. That's the ultimate freedom.
Happy today, Bill. Happy today.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning.
Okay, so our subconscious mind, what we think about, he said in his mind, he could be free and be anywhere else. They couldn't touch it.
Absolutely. I think that it's so important to know and to be in control of your own mind or your own abilities. And I think a lot of that is mindset. Much of what I do on as a coach is mindset. Much of what I do to help people to get through what they are navigating is a mindset. It is helping them to decide what their objective is and then how to create a mantra, if you will, to focus on what they are attempting to accomplish or manifest.
Good morning, Bill Brown. Bill Brown, again, in case you missed it earlier, tonight at 7 p.m. On a few different pages in our social media, we're going to do a conversation about the dark secrets of entrepreneurialism, of entrepreneurship. What most entrepreneurs don't want to talk about, but they cannot hide from. And I think it'd be fun if you were a part of that conversation too. Because there are some stuff that entrepreneurs don't want to talk about, but they can't hide from it. This is just not pretty, some of the stuff.
Glenda says, a lot of situations in my life have helped me to come full circle. I realized that these things needed to happen to make me a better, stronger person. Absolutely.
Needed to happen. Wow. And you're probably right. Pastor Kevin Webb gave us that perspective in 2016 when our home was broken into and robbed. Someone kicked in the back door and they stole both of our laptops. They stole our television. They stole a couple of cell phones. They stole a bunch of medicines. You know, we think it was just kids, but both laptops are gone. And at the time, Lisa and I, we're rocking and rolling. We're holding empowerment meetings. We're doing all that kind of stuff at the facility. And we reported it to the police. And then we told our Facebook friends, I promise you, within a day, the outpouring of love and support we got from the community humbled us, moved us to tears daily. We both had new computers the next day. Someone had a brand new computer at her home she wasn't using, wanted to donate to Lisa. Two of our friends went out to the Best Buy the next day when they found out that I lost my computer. They bought me a laptop. And friends rushed over to help us to fix the door. The outpouring of love and support. And Pastor Kevin Webb put that moment in the right words for me. He says, Brian, you and Lisa needed to be robbed. What? We needed someone to break into our home? We weren't there when it happened. He goes, Brian, we needed that to happen because you guys have been showing love and support for so many people for so long. Your community needed a way to show you that they loved you back. Okay, they needed a way to thank you. And boy, did they do that in a big way. And that made sense to me.
Beverly said, I forgot to tell you about last night and my angel. I now consider her as my magic friend.
Oh.
She's my magical angel because of this week, Magic Week, how she blessed me, my soul in prayer. Forgive me, I'm having a moment. That's all right.
That's all right. We can do that here.
Amen.
When Brown said, I would love to be there. Man, everything is better. Bill Brown, Lisa Santiago, there's certain types of people that everything is better when they put their hands on it or they're involved with it in any kind of way. Glenda said, wow. Jacqueline says, Lisa, Brian shared what you did Monday. I praise God for you, and I see your strength, love, and beautiful wings. I told that you were there in support of a friend of yours, a dear friend of yours who had gone to the hospital.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was having a procedure done, and I had the opportunity to be there, be in support of her, be her driver, which I didn't know I was going to drive. But be there, be her prayer warrior while she was in surgery, while she was in for the procedure. And I'm just grateful that everything turned out well and she's recovering nicely.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that I still don't feel good. My nose is still running.
Your nose is still running. I'm not gonna make a bad joke, but go ahead. You don't feel you're completely yourself.
Right.
Any other symptoms besides the runny nose?
It really is not.
Just the runny nose.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been watching Breaking Bad, y'all. There's a lot of drug use in that show, Breaking Bad.
Felicia said, please read her comment. I don't see. Let me see.
Positive thoughts of encouragement, affirmations, and things you declare for your life. I did read that.
Yeah, we read that, but I don't see. Well, did you have another comment, Felicia? Please repost it, and we'll be sure to read it. Absolutely.
I did read it, and I even said this is Sister Felicia's comment about what she believes people should say when they talk to themselves.
But ladies, please be sure to register for Women Empowerment Networks. It is on January the 4th, which means it is next year. But we want to get those registrations in so that we can begin to really, really, really call you out in prayer for the turn of the new year, and also to know who all is coming. Whether or not we have a limited room is going to be determined by the registration.
Now, the men's meeting, I've never required them to have to register before they attend, but I will tell you our next meeting is on January the 4th as well, and we had such an amazing time at the last meeting. At the last meeting, we gave every man an opportunity to tell the story of their 2021, to tell the story of this year, and those stories were so amazing. They had so many ups and downs and heartbreak and celebration in them. There was just an amazing opportunity there. Dr. Beverly.
She said, I honestly believe it's the flip-flop in this weather. I thought you were talking about flip-flop shoes, but the flip-flop in this weather. One day is hot, the next day is cold, the next day is rainy, and then it's hot. We have to continuously protect ourselves because of the elements are in a confused state, and that's something to think about. I'm wondering if the elements of the weather all the way
are because of what we are not doing in the earth. You need some echinacea golden seal. Echinacea golden seal, that's what you need.
Felicia says, I have to speak life into the things we want. We do have to speak life into the things that we want in our lives.
We want to manifest in our life.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's right. If you got to speak it, okay? I mean, the formula is still the formula, okay? Write it down.
Write the vision, make it plain. Write the vision, make it plain, so that when you run, you will not fade. And I'm telling you,
October of 2016 was another one of those moments in my life, because January 2016, this is the first time. Now, this has happened to Lisa and I many, many times. But January of 2016, we were together. We got so excited. And on January, we made ourselves a big old dry erase board of all the goals that we wanted to accomplish that year. Okay. Now, at the time, neither one of us had published a book. Neither one of us had. And that was on our list. We wanted to publish a book that year. We wanted to do this. We wanted to go there. We wanted to do this. We had a big old list. In October of that year, Lisa and I were coming into, and we didn't always take time to say, check on it, but we saw it every day because it was in our office. We had to go into the office every day, and we saw it to our right as we walked into the room. In October, we had a moment where we stood before that board, and every single thing that we had wrote down and said that we wanted to do this year, we had done. And I really believe that happened because we had the discipline to write it down, make it plain, see it, and run to it.
Absolutely. Bill just said, I just got something. We never know the how I will be of help. I just need to decide to be willing to help. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for your example, Lisa.
Yeah,
absolutely. One of the things that God gave me in my download while I was writing Discovering Your Why, A Journey for Wholeness, was that the how is none of your business.
Say it.
Anyway.
You're only going to get in God's way.
None of your business anyway.
Beverly says, Lisa, you know what's absolutely beautiful? You yourself is a whole publishing company. And how many books have you published now? Wow. That's right. That's
Amen.
right. I was talking to my son yesterday. a lot of people know that I do not stay on the phone very long if I can help it. Okay. I'm going to get on the phone, get done what I got to get done, and get off the phone kind of guy. Even if I'm talking to my children, I love them, but I don't stay on the phone very long. My mom don't do it with me either. Okay. But yesterday I was on the phone with my son, my firstborn son, that's 42 minutes. Okay. And we was just talking. And one of the things he said to me, Dad, you are so far ahead of the game. What do you mean, son? When the last time you worked for anybody? Okay, I was like 2013 for like 3 months. And then before that, probably like 96 or not 96. 2006, something like that. Anyway, I said, but officially on my business, the way it's laid out now, I have January 1st of 2010. Okay, so let's take 2010, January 1st, 2010. This is 21. We're about to be 22. So you haven't really worked for anybody. Every single month you still eat, you pay your bills, all that kind of stuff. You are so far ahead of the game, Dad. Most people are trying to get to where you are, Dad. And my crazy mind has sparked in my mind of a workshop I need to do. If you want to leave your job, before you leave your job, learn how to sell. Take my courses while you still have a job. That's what I think I'm going to promote.
Thank you, Ms. Jacqueline. She said, Lisa, you've either become allergic to something or something in the air, something you are eating or something in the air, such as a cleaner, something you're breathing in, something that I've learned from my herbal training. Yes, probably. I have something called Cali, and it works wonders.
Ooh.
Cali.
That's a good way of looking at it too. We have changed the household filters recently, right? We have. But is there something else that we're doing now that we weren't doing as much? It's not cigar smell rescue, we don't think, right? Or could it be?
Nope. Lisa, you know what's absolutely beautiful? You are. Oh, I read that. That's right.
More than 100 works, Dr. Beverly. Okay. I don't have the exact number, but I know it's been. I remember when it was 50 something books, 70 books. I know it's well over 100 now. Okay. Jacqueline Rosier.
Good morning, Melissa. Melissa's checking on Dr. Beverly. She says, how are you feeling, sis? She's feeling much better, and she had some angelic visitation.
She says, Jacqueline says, us to buy allergy meds used to buy allergy meds every time I went to the market. Have not had to buy for over 8 years. After 40 years of misery, allergic to everything, especially changes in the weather. Heels at the cellular level. And good morning, Sister Melissa. I'm glad you made it through, Miss Melissa Price. Good morning to you.
Absolutely. Dr. Deborah says, I've been in continual prayer for the Lord to give me excitement and joy for what I get to do for nonprofit visionaries. Yeah. Amen. He is really doing just that. Just what he said. I'm looking forward to working with Lisa to build up my programs and systems so that I can offer my clients the best of what I have to offer from my 37 years in the industry. I am jump starting towards success. I am excited for you.
I'm excited with you, Dr. Deborah. Melissa Price, you remind me, last night was story time with Paul B. I was preaching to myself. I thought the story that I gave last night was particularly good, but it was a story that I needed someone to say to me. So I listened to it several times. I needed the lesson that I gave last night. I thought it was so good, but I know that I was the one that needed that ministry last night, even though I'm the one that told the story. So God used me to tell a story that I needed to hear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think is that important.
Oh my God, look at this, 9:47. We got to hurry up. We only got 4 minutes left. 5 minutes left, and we haven't done our greeting song yet.
Dr. Beverly responding to Melissa. She says, I'm stiff. It takes me a minute to get moving around, and I'm still waking up in pain, but I found a holistic natural herb doctor that's going to help me through things or actually put me back on the right track. I think you need to contact Dr. Moses as well.
Moses, yeah, right in town. Let's go, baby.
Contact Dr. Moses and give him the opportunity to work with you. If you don't know who he is, reach out to Brian. He'll get you connected.
I will. And we did get our dandelion from you, Dr. Jacqueline Rosier. So up front, we're going to do our greeting songs. First up today is Miss Phyllis. Miss Phyllis. Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Up next is Julie Ray Hammondtree.
Julie Ray Hammondtree, find out what she means to me. Julie Ray Hammondtree.
Good morning, Miss Julie Ray. Dr. Deborah Dunston's up next.
Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah. Sister Jacqueline, according to Jacqueline Rosier.
Jacqueline Rosier, pretty little girl that I adore. You're the only one my heart beats for. I'm so glad that you are mine.
Dr. Beverly has a logo and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Sister Glenda Tate, welcome back. Welcome back.
Glenda's riding on the freeway in makeup in her pink Cadillac.
Good morning, Miss Glenda Tate. Stephanie Morris has his jam too.
Stephanie, life has new meaning to me.
There is beauty up above and things we never take notice of. You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Miss Felicia Gardner has a jam.
Felicia, we love you.
You're the one for me. Good morning, Miss Felicia. Mr. William Brown has a jam. Good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Speaking of Bill, I'm so glad you're here. I miss Sister Jeannie. I miss Brother Mark Greer. Craig. I miss Anthony Whitsitt.
Yes, definitely. And we're
Melissa
grateful.
Price has a jam. Bam, 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 bam. Melissa's on. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's on. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price. Speaking of which, today I had to drink water before I did Melissa's song because Melissa's song requires a lot of talking. I mean, a lot of energy. But today at noon, we get a chance to do another energy thing too. So this is Wednesday, right?
Yes, it's Wednesday, Networking Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, we host a group called a Virtual Networking Empowerment. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have people all around the world in our group. And if you have a business that can be supported worldwide, globally, you should join us. If you want more information about that, reach out to Lisa or me, and I'll get you that information about today at noon, every Wednesday at noon.
Absolutely. And we thank you. We appreciate you for joining us today. Hey, Pastor Kumar, thank you so much for coming. We love you. Today is Wednesday.
Kumar, I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Today is Wednesday, and please don't forget to have sex.